Gentlemen and ladies, there are no ladies today.
Yes. If the president will brief them to say, the president will brief them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we on our way to France to go and represent the president. There is going to be a ceremony to commemorate many black soldiers who died in the First World War, and also to rebury the remains of Private Beleza, who was one of the many black soldiers who were sent to fight in the war. They were part of what they call the African Labor Corps, who fought in the First World War. There were up to 80,000 of them, and many of them died in the Mendi ship when it sunk in the English Channel. So in France, a number of them died and were buried there. We had a number of white South African soldiers who also died there, but as you know, during apartheid, they separated even people who were dead. So the white soldiers were buried one side, and the black soldiers were scattered all over France. So we are going to reinterr or rebury the remains of one of those soldiers. He was one of the very first ones to die, Private Beleza. We're going to rebury him at Delville, which is a cemetery where many South African soldiers who fell in First World War are buried. So we're going to really restore Private Beleza's dignity, his honor, and to also recognize the service that he rendered to South Africa, to the people of South Africa, much as South Africa was very divided then. He was one of the gallant soldiers who fell during that war, that conflict, First World War, and he needs to have his honor restored. The South African government, through our Department of Arts and Culture, is in the process of promoting our nationhood, the process of helping all of us as South Africans to remember our history, however sad and terrible that history may be. And this is one of those acts. Many people around the world, and a number of South Africans, go to Delville to go and remember the dead soldiers. And many black soldiers were not allowed to be buried at Delville. So the South African government, post-apartheid, is making a concerted effort to build our nation. This is about national cohesion. This is about recognizing those who have made a contribution to the people of South Africa. Now, after Private Beleza is reburied, we will hold a number of other commemorative occasions, and we will be looking for more and more of South African soldiers and make sure that they are buried in this place called Delville, which is really a South African burial site for those who died during the war. So that is what this trip is all about. After France, we're proceeding to Sri Lanka. As you recall, the president appointed me as his special envoy to help with the consolidation of peace in Sri Lanka. So I will be traveling with a number of our colleagues who will be part of this delegation to go to Sri Lanka. What we're really going to do in Sri Lanka is to listen to Sri Lankans. We've already met them a few times here in South Africa. This time round, we're going to go to Colombo in Sri Lanka and meet the government, the president of Sri Lanka, and a number of other government ministers and representatives. We will also meet the opposition parties, and we will travel to the north, where the conflict was at its fiercest. We will discuss with people in the community, and we will be trying to help the Sri Lankans with the truth and reconciliation process, with their own constitutional reform, with consolidating their peace, and making sure that Sri Lanka does indeed become a stable country where they will all enjoy human rights, and in the end, we will be giving as much assistance to them as we possibly can. That is the content of our trip. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, all of you want that.